Let's try this again, Premiere. Welcome back to some useful COD Zombies information. It's been a few months since the last episode, and y'all have been asking me so much for another episode, and I'm finally glad to say that useful information is back. If you're glad that it's back and you'd like to see another episode, be sure to drop a like. And also, click that subscribe button too. YouTube is snitching on y'all because they tell me that 81% of you that watch my content are not subscribed. If just 10% of you would click the subscribe button, then we would be well over 50k and cruising on our way to 100,000 subscribers. So if you want to help us on that journey, click that subscribe button. And with that being said, let's jump into the useful information. In Gen 3 on BO2 Origins, if you stand right here in this little bridge thing, then all the zombies that spawn on the map will come from in front of you. Now, some zombies will still spawn behind you, but if you look, they'll hop down and run all the way around just to run in front of you. You just gotta be careful doing this though, because if you stand just a little bit too far back here, then this will mess this glitch up and zombies will hit you from behind. As long as you're standing on this wooden part, then you should be fine, and this should work with no problems. Unfortunately though, it does not work on BO3. On Black Ops 6, there is some really good tech you can use to get out of almost any situation that you're in. To do it, you first have to put the PhD slider augment on PhD flopper, and then go to your keybind settings and change the slide button right here to something you can easily click over and over. And now if you go in game and go get PhD, if you hold down the slide button and tap your sprint button like every half a second or so, then this will make you slide over and over again super fast with no cooldown on it, making it so you can get out of almost any situation in this game. Another tip you can use with PhD flopper in this game is you can use it to slide off the hood of this car to jump this part of the map in Liberty Falls. To do it, it's real simple. Run towards this car and jump and slide off the windshield, and then look at the platform to land on it. If you buy Jug on Shinonuma, then you will take no damage from the flogger. Seriously, you can stand directly in it and you will take no damage. Transit has a really annoying way to unlock Pack-a-Punch, but thankfully there is a tip you can do to make it just a little bit easier. Instead of placing your turbine down where the game wants you to, if you instead place it above this door near the 74 U-Wall buy, then the turbine will still be able to hit this door to unlock Pack-a-Punch. And doing it this way saves you around a minute of having to get out of the power room, which makes it so this will open pretty much every time. On Zetsubo no Shima, it is possible to get an infinite Skull of Nansapwe. Doing this glitch is surprisingly really simple. You first have to build a skull, obviously, and get the Bowie knife as well. Then go find a spore around the map and shoot it, and pull out your skull and walk in it to cough. While you're coughing, you want to double tap Y or whatever button it is, you want to double tap your button to switch weapons. And if done right, when you get done talking, then your skull should say that it is at 0 ammo for a brief second, and then it'll shoot back up. If your skull did this, then you can move on to the next step, which is actually depleting it. So use your skull as normal until it gets around 5% left. Once it is, you want to use your vaporize ability or your main ability on it. You want to use it on the zombies to get your skull to 0. If your skull says it has 0 ammo and you still have it out, then you have done everything in this glitch right so far, and there is just one more thing to do. You want to get 3 melee kills with your Bowie knife to charge up the skull just a little bit, and then after you get 3 melee kills, your skull will now be infinite. From here, you can just get in your favorite camping spot and tape down your trigger to grind high rounds or XP, whatever you want to do, this glitch will help you with it. And if you want a great place to sit for this glitch, mesmerize this poster in the purple water room, and then mesmerize this elevator wall to reveal your camping spot. You can beat Richtofen's version of Transit's Easter egg on solo. First, I would strongly recommend you load in a Stuhlinger. That way you can hear Richtofen say if you did a step right or not. Now, fast forward to the end of the game. When you're on the EMP step, and you got it through your 4 EMPs, you want to go to the lamp in between the cornfield and the power station. You want to camp at this lamp with 2 EMPs and a decent gun, which is hopefully the ray gun. You want to kill the zombies when they're right behind this portal on the ground. This is so when one drops a max ammo, what you need for this. When he drops a max ammo, it'll be within walking distance so you can pick it up before the 5-second timer for this step runs up. Once you get a max ammo to spawn, you want to walk up to the lamppost right here and line up your crosshair exactly how I do. I find this works best if I line up my crosshair so that the bottom left corner of it is in line with this weird little divot in the tree. And just so you know, you have to be very precise on this first throw. Once you have it lined up as best as you can, you want to throw your first EMP without jumping and simultaneously walk backwards to back into the max ammo, and also throw your second EMP on the ground right in front of you before you grab your max ammo. Then grab your max ammo and jump through the portal, and as soon as you can, you want to throw your third EMP on the ground and jump through the portal one final time and throw your fourth and final EMP. If you hit all 4 EMPs correctly and you didn't get a repeat lamp, then you will successfully beat this co-op only Easter egg on solo with no mods. On Citadel Day More, there's a way to turn the cannon back to unlock a second secret fast travel. After you unlock Pack-a-Punch, you gotta grab 2 parts. The first one is in this box in Spawn, and the second is in the sword room below Vulture Raid right here. Once you have both, return to the cannon and interact with it to crank the cannon back around so you can fast travel to the swords. At this point, you can crank the cannon back and forth whenever you want to change the fast travel at any point. On Black Ops 3, it is possible to hold 2 gobblegums at the same time. First, before you start this glitch, you should split your gobblegums up into 2 different categories. Split them up into your purple gobblegums and your non-purple gums. This is important because this glitch will only work if you start it with a purple gum. This is because the purple ones are the only gobblegums that you can manually activate. Also, before you do this glitch, make sure you're holding out whatever weapon that you want to be killing zombies with. Whether it's a wonder weapon or a really good bullet gun, whatever it is, because once you do this glitch, you cannot swap your weapons or else it'll ruin it. Once you have a purple one, you then hit the gobblegum machine and get whatever you want to hold in your back pocket, like a near-death experience, a backup perkaholic, anything like that. When it gives you the option to pick it up, you want to hold your X button or your square button, you want to hold that, and then press and hold your right bumper to pull out a grenade. If you hit the timing right, then you should grab the gobblegum out of the machine with no animation for it. If you see this in your game, then you did it right. So now you want to let go of your interact button, so your square, X, or F button, you want to let go of it, and then let go of your frag grenade, and instantly YY to keep whatever weapon you're holding out to save this glitch. At this point, you will now have 2 gobblegums in your inventory.
I feel ever so slightly empowered.
To activate your second gobblegum, there are 3 different ways you can do it. The first is just by popping your first gobblegum as normal, but you can also throw a grenade to pop your second gum, or you can just switch weapons and that'll make it activate. This part of the glitch where you're not allowed to switch weapons, this is pretty annoying, but the rest of this is insanely helpful for having a backup perkaholic in the boss fight, or you want to run multiple raindrops or something. Whatever you want to do, you can do it with this glitch as long as your first gobblegum is a purple one. This might be the single most helpful thing in this entire video. Not because it's game breaking or nothing, no. Rather, it's because this next tip is game saving. The summoning key step on Revelations is notoriously glitchy. Half the time when you go through a teleporter or use a launch pad, the summoning key will glitch out in your character and the only way to get it back is by going down. But to avoid this glitch from ever happening to you, simply melee with the summoning key right before you go through the portal, and this will make it never glitch out. On Blood of the Dead, the acid trap recharges your specialist for some reason. This trap helped me a ton when I was beating this Easter egg on Realistic. On Dead of the Night, there were some really good Easter eggs you can do as early as round 1. In the east and west hallways, there will be 4 books on these bookshelves that you have to interact with in a certain order. If you interact with these 4 books in the order from left to right that's on the screen right now, then the bookshelf will open to reveal a reward. This reward could be points or a weapon like the Cordite or KN57. And also, if you come to the billiards room to play, billiards, and you sync the balls in order from 1 to 9, then you will be rewarded with either more free points or a free use of swordfly. This next thing I'm gonna cover is probably the single most well-known thing in this entire series. On Mob of the Dead, you can grab the drops through the jail cells with the Hell's Retriever. On Black Ops 3, there are a ton of boss enemies that can spawn, but thankfully, most of them have a universal weakness. If you melee them while holding pop shocks, then it'll one-shot kill them every single time. Unfortunately, this doesn't work on Easter egg bosses like the Keeper boss, the dragon, stuff like that, but for every other enemy in this game, this will one-shot kill them on any round. There is a really easy way to cheese the Pentagon Thief on 5 to get 2 Pack-a-Punch guns on round 5. This only works on solo, but to do it, it's real simple. On round 1, come over here and just buy Quick Revive. That's it. When the Pentagon Thief spawns in, you want to get line of sight of him and down yourself. I like to do this on a catwalk because I feel like it's easiest here. When you go down, the game will give you the Mustang and Sally's. With them, you can easily take them out to get a bonfire sale. You can now pack a bunch of guns on round 5 for a total cost of 2,000 points and 1 Quick Revive. If you're a decent player and you feel like you can waste a Quick Revive, then I think this is worth doing every single game you play. On the Reaper upgrade quest in the Final Reich, if you train the bomber zombies outside of the Pack-a-Punch room, this will make it so they're far enough away from the trap that you can run through the Pack-a-Punch room and turn on the trap from the other side, and the bomber zombie should show up just in time to where they die to the trap, making it so you can do this step with no problems and also no jack-in-a-box. And shout out to one of my subscribers, Rich Oversteers, for letting me know that. When I was ranting about this in my worst thing about every map video, he left his tip in a comment and I went and tried it, and sure enough, it made this step a lot easier. On Shell and Shuffle, there's a really weird glitch with the katana. Once it stops one-shotting in like the mid-30s, if you kill 2 or more zombies with it, then it'll glitch out for a few seconds to kill kill all the zombies around you. And what makes this crazier is that the higher round that you're on, the longer this glitch will last for. So by the time you're in the 50s or 60s, killing 2 zombies with the katana will make the katana kill all the zombies around you for like 5 seconds without you needing to do pretty much anything else. If you complete the owl challenge on Raven and Redwoods, then you will get a transponder. If you take this transponder to Pack-a-Punch and place it down, this will make it to where the next time you want to go to Pack-a-Punch, you don't have to sit through this minute-long boat ride. Instead, you can just teleport straight there. You can go get this as many times as you want to teleport there as many times as you want. On the soapstone step on Tagged or Toten, you can place both hot soapstones down and turn the trap on. Then until the trap turns off, which is around 45 seconds, you can still go down and place a hot soapstone. Doing this will duplicate the soapstone so you have 3. Now, is duplicating the soapstone useful? Nope. But I think the first part of this is pretty good to know. And speaking of Tagged or Toten, or should I say Tagged or Toten 1.0, there are 2 really easy ways to take out George. And the first one is with the Pack-a-Punch for Moss. The Pack-a-Punch for Moss will do 150 damage per headshot with a 5 times multiplier. Combine this with its really fast fire rate. If you hit your headshots, then you can take out George in about 180 bullets on solo. And the other gun that's really good against George is the Dragunov. The Pack-a-Punch Dragunov does 1000 damage per shot with a 10 times multiplier, meaning that if you hit your headshots, this thing will do 10,000 damage per shot. Also meaning that the Pack-a-Punch Dragunov can take out George in just 25 shots. Everybody hates the symbol step on Citadel Daymore. It is hands down the worst step in this entire Easter egg. But what if I told you there was a way to skip this step entirely so you don't have to check the symbols in spawn, nor shoot the wall? When you first start your game and you're grabbing the papers for the pointed power traps, instead of just blindly grabbing them, you want to pay attention to the symbols that are on the papers and also what part of the room each symbol spawns in. If you pull up the map, the paper that spawns in the back left corner of this room will always be your first symbol. The symbol that spawns on the beds or on this table is your second symbol. The paper that spawns on the couch or right next to Stamina Up is your third one. And finally, the paper that spawns on the far right hall going down to Pack-a-Punch will always be your 4th symbol. Once you're up to the symbol step, instead of doing all that nonsense, just go around the map and charge up your 4 pointed power traps in the aforementioned order, and once you charge up all 4, the orb will float out of it and go to the wall, successfully skipping the worst part of this quest. Also, bonus tip for this step, your 4th and final trap for this step will always be next to Stamina. And you know what? Let's throw one more Citadel tip in here. The Guardian is a really tanky boss, probably the single most tanky boss in Black Ops 6. But thankfully, there is a way you can take him out in just 2 phases. To do this, you'll need a few things. First, you'll either need the Maelstrom or the Olympia with these attachments. You'll also need an extra charge on Aether Shroud, and finally, a Free Fire. This combination will make you absolutely destroy the Guardian. As soon as the second phase starts, you want to pop your Free Fire and pop your Aether Shroud when he starts moving to make him stand still. Now you want to get super close to him and unload in his armor and his weak points. If you do enough damage here, then you can actually skip the second breakpoint and you can fully kill him in phase 2. Thanks to this, you can keep this boss fight arena more open and skip an amalgam spawn as well. And also, by the way, if you guys would like to see me cover the easiest way to beat every single BO6 boss fight, let me know in the comments and I'll get it done. At the start of Attack's boss fight, if you escort the bomb until it turns its corner, then you can actually run and jump on top of the bomb to make this escort insanely easy. This makes it so not only no zombies will hit you, but also the Krog will only shoot you 2 times in this entire ride. Also in this fight on the laser step, if you use this specific laser, and if you're in co-op, everyone else in the game stands right here, then when the Krog does his ground pound attack to try and one-shot kill you, then he will shoot it way far to the right and completely miss you every single time. Oh, and in case you missed it, I made that updated attack guide. Links on the screen. Every single normal enemy in Black Ops 6, as well as every phase of the Patient 13 boss fight, is weak to a specific ammo mod. Here is a really great breakdown that fellow zombies YouTuber Mystery HQ made. With his go-to cheat sheet, you now know the best ammo mod to run on every single map. On die rides, you can jump through the ceiling to get to the next floor. This is kind of hard to do at first, but once you figure it out, it is pretty useful. You want to go to the elevator shaft of your choice and walk inside it a bit. When you're doing this, you want to hug the right side of the elevator shaft like this. Once you have this part lined up so you're in line with this vertical bar, next you want to look on the ground for a line. Depending on where you are, this might be a different color. It might be black, it might be gray, it might be blue. It doesn't matter the color, just know that every single elevator shaft has a line like this at the edge of the floor. When you have your crosshair lined up with this line, you want to spam jump like 6 times. If you lined it up right, then you'll mantle through the ceiling to get to the next floor. On the Giant, you can actually tell what your extra perk is before you unlock it. After you turn on the power, come to the snowbank where it spawns. You want to shoot the top half and the bottom half of this snowbank, and depending on where you hear glass break, that will tell you what perk you got. If you shoot the top half of the snowbank and you hear glass breaking, then this means that you got stamina, but if you hear the glass breaking in the bottom half, then this means that you got Deadshot.
Perhaps one day, I will find one that tastes like a cuttlefish.
On Blood of the Dead's Easter egg, you can tell what challenge you got as soon as you enter your code. As soon as you enter the number to spawn a challenge, you have 5 seconds to run to China Alley and look through this grate. If the lighthouse shines a light over this white building or through the very top of it, then this means that you got one of the 2 challenges at spawn. If the light flashes through this middle row of windows, then this means that you got the showers challenge, and the docks challenge will just shine at the docks. And finally, if you don't see any light at all and you know you were fast enough to see it, then that means you got the challenge at Wardens. On Terminus, if you get a shock charge before you start the ship lockdown, then you can actually skip the lockdown. Once you grab a node connector, you'll get a white flash. You want to count for 2 seconds after you get that white flash and throw a shock charge on the door. If done right, the door will open back up, allowing you to skip this lockdown. Here is the one and probably only darkest short tip you will ever get from me. On round 0, where the game spawns in like 15 zombies that give you 10 points per kill, if you train these zombies up and lead them to either quick revive or the first door, then you can actually run to the other side of this spawn room to despawn the zombies. If you do this like 3 or 4 times, then it'll despawn all the zombies in the round, and all those zombies that you despawn will respawn on round 1, where the game will give you the normal amount of points. Doing this will give you over double the points that you normally would have on round 1. You can glitch out your Black Ops 3 to put any attachment on any weapon that you want. This includes your starting pistols and the weapons with preset attachments. And best part, you can do this with no mods. Now, just FYI, this is kind of annoying to do, and there is a prerequisite. You'll need to get 2 controllers and also 2 accounts. It should be your main account, the one you want something on, and a backup or a guest account. To start this glitch, you want to disconnect your console or your PC from the internet and start up BR3 on your main account. Load into the main menu where you can select multiplayer or zombies, and then turn back on your console's internet and click play online in BR3. If you're on PS4, then this will take a minute to work, so just keep trying to do it until it lets you. As soon as it starts saying connecting to online service like this, you want to click back one time and then click your pause button, or if you're on keyboard or mouse, click enter. Doing so will bring up the menu, and if you hit it right, then you will see the press to start button in the bottom left of your screen. So click on this button to open the game, and then you want to click zombies. At this point, you want to switch to your second controller on your backup account, and you want to click A or X on it to join your game. Now, still with the second controller, go in a private game and click weapon kits, secondaries, and click the Bowie knife. At this point, put down your second controller and pick back up your first one. Click A with your main controller to bring the gunsmith up, and then back to your second controller. You want to click B or circle. You want to click it to go back exactly 3 times to go back to this screen. Make sure that this bottom option is highlighted like this, and click that option to bring up the weapon class again. And again, you want to click secondaries and click the Bowie knife again. If it looks like this, then you hit the glitch so far. So now you can customize your guns. So now with your main controller, move over to secondaries and customize your MR6. And if you have it unlocked, customize the 1911 as well. Click on the gun and then click create to make a variant. Just name it and then put whatever attachments you want on your gun. When you have your gun like how you want it, back out and save your variant. Then hover over the variant you just made and click the pause button and select copy. Edit the duplicated variant's name, just name it whatever you want. And once you do, you can delete your original variant. With this, your attachments are now saved, so now you can move on to your other guns. When you have your attachments set for all of your weapons and you're ready to get out of this glitch menu, with your main controller, you want to get to this screen and click back exactly 3 times, and then pick up your second controller and click back 3 more times to get fully out of the glitch menu back into the normal zombies menu. At this point, the glitch is done, so you can disconnect your second controller and go in a game and test this out. You can also use this glitch to customize the 74U and other DLC guns on top of it, and you can also use this glitch to put MP attachments like high caliber or suppressor on your guns as well. And we can actually use this glitch to do the final thing in this video, which is one of the craziest glitches in zombies, which is an infinite death machine. This can easily take you to whatever round you want. You will insta-kill any enemy at any round. It is absolutely crazy. To do this, you have to do the aforementioned attachments glitch, but instead of worrying about customizing your pistol, you want to go to the Shiva and put a very specific attachment setup on it. You want to put on quick draw, suppressor, FMJ, extended mag, and rapid fire. FMJ will make this gun glitch out when pack-a-punch, so if I were you, I'd put it on a gun that you rarely use like the Shiva. Now, before you load in, I recommend running Fatal Contraption and Wall Power to make this easier. You can do it with just one or even neither, but if you have both, make sure you run them because it will make setting up this glitch easier. When you load into the game, if you don't have the RK5, before you do any other part of this glitch, buy it and keep your other starting weapon, either the MR6, Bloodhound, Bloodhound or 1911, keep it for the rest of this glitch. When you load into the game, you want to first get Fatal Contraption out of the gobblegum machine, and then before you pop it, you want to keep spinning the gobblegum until it gives you your wall power. Before you pick up a wall power, you want to pop your death machine and just leave it for a sec. Now pick up your wall power and trade out your non-RK5 starting pistol for the Shiva. So your Bloodhound, your MR6, your 1911, you want to trade out that weapon for your Shiva. FMJ makes this gun really glitchy when pack-a-punched, and if you put your gun away, then you will have trouble pulling it back out. So if you do this, just swap your weapon so it looks like this and then throw a grenade and that'll pull out your Shiva. Now run into the death machine to pick it up, and 20 seconds later when the icon starts blinking, fire it until it goes away, and when it does, you will now have an infinite death machine. From here, you could just get in your favorite camping spot like this one in the Eisendrache, or in the elevator on Zetsubo, or you could use this to finally get to round 100 on the Water War maps. Just a heads up though, if you do this glitch, after you do this glitch, you can't buy any perks and you can't use a teleporter or fast travel either. You can use stuff like the Wonder Spheres, but anything that puts away your weapon to move you around the map is completely off limits. And finally, this should go without saying, but if you somehow go down while you're doing this glitch, then you will, of course, have to set this up over again. Besides that though, there is pretty much nothing else to worry about, so you can do this glitch and kick your feet up and relax, and get all the XP and liquid divinium in the world. So there was your useful COD Zombies information. If you guys would like to see another episode before 2026, then please let me know by dropping a like on this video and clicking subscribe down below. Shout out to my members, thank you all so much for supporting me, and huge shout out to my 2 new members, Incline and Jake Johnson. Thank you all so much for becoming members, I really appreciate it. Click right here to go watch me state the best and worst thing about every single Zombies map, and with that being said, I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.